Hello everybody, my name is Connor, and welcome back to another Boa game. It's your boy Connor, the #1 Boa player on YouTube. Just kidding. So we are against Red Purple Law. This opponent is very good. I think I can say that about everybody I play. But I feel like I did okay keeping up with him. So he swings all into life, and I take it, and I get my Gecko. So we top deck a Law. We're at 4 Dawn. We got hella Jinbeis in our hand. We have 3 of our 4 Jinbeis. I need to learn to shuffle better, but I'm excited to see Jinbei in general. So I swing 5, just trying to apply some pressure here, and I'm thinking, I don't know. So he does the, gives me 2k with the Otama. I tap 4 into Jinbei, and I play out the Dofi. And I think I search 5, and I see the Gravity Blade, which is great, and I see Boa, which I think I want. We're already at 4, so getting the 6 Dawn turn. I think I put them back on top with the 2, yeah. I think that's pretty smart, because I know that Law is probably going to start establishing some big bodies, especially because he's at 5 Dawn this turn. And I think maybe if I wasn't so aggressive and kind of tried to starve his hand, that's probably the smarter option, but I was hoping. My opponent did not play the way I expected. That is for sure. So they end up dropping the Miss All Sunday, which honestly, it's not tech that I'm familiar with. She started being added into the Red Purple Law deck after I stopped playing Red Purple Law, and since he gets to add a Dawn, which puts him at 6 Dawn, and since he's at 6 Dawn, he gets to draw a card. He swings 5, and I'm trying to decide what to do, and I think I end up giving him Dofi here, and I think I should have just taken it. Yeah, so I do give him Dofi. I think I might either giving him a Jinbei as counter, because I could get it back with Gecko, and I have a gajillion in my hand. I think I was just so, like, I think both of the matches I played at this tournament, which I got to buy the second round, so I only played 2 matches at the 3-round tournament, which is kind of a bummer. I think both of them, I just was so worried about my Dofi getting popped and not getting value off of him that I was, like, blocking him with the first chance I got. And I don't think that I should have done that. So I'm trying to think about how many cards I have, what I can do. I go 5 just to kind of poke to see what they do, because realistically I'm thinking I know I'm thinking about Jinbeiing into Mihawk. They give me the 1k Shiraya. I can Jinbei into Mihawk, I can Jinbei into Gecko and get the Dofi back. He's keeping his hand too low to really benefit off of playing Law. Or I think I end up bouncing Law at some point in this game, and I don't think that is right. But I'm really thinking about this turn, because part of me is like, I should play Boa to establish a larger body, something that he's gonna have to see multiple removal cards to bottom deck. And I know I think I have another Boa coming up, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I go to tap 6, and then I'm like, no, hold on. And I'm really thinking it is tough. So I swing 7 with lead, and I think here I'm thinking he's at 6 cards, so I can. My thought was get a card in hand, play the Law, bounce the Law, get him to bottom deck, and I think also get the benefit of Boa ability. But he does end up getting a trigger. His first life is another Miss All Sunday, which is pretty good. I think the Miss All Sunday ability, I think, just kind of minuses him a Dawn, but he does get to draw, which he's only at 3-ish cards. I know this last game, I feel like the hand cam was like perfect. In this game, not so much. I don't know what I did. during the buy that I had. But we are at 4, so I think I end up playing Jinbei into Mihawk, or not Mihawk, but Jinbei into Gecko. I think realistically, Mihawk wouldn't be a... Oh, never mind. I played Jinbei into Law and bouncing the Law back to my hand. And I'm reading it to him because he mentioned that he had never played against a Boa before. And he does show me the card he bottom decks, which, I mean, look at the size of his deck. I don't think he's going to get there. But he does bottom deck the Rush Zoro. I think realistically I should have played Jinbei into Mihawk to just get more bodies. More bodies mean more swings. More swings mean more cards out of his hand. And yeah, I'm not happy with how I played this game, but I try not to post just losses, but I did want to go over this. Spoiler alert, I lose. But I did want to talk about this game, and I did want to potentially get some feedback, because I think I know really where I threw it. But my opponent taps 5 and plays out the Eustace Kid, and he taps 1 to play out the Otama to minus a Jinbei, minus the standing Jinbei, which to me means he is going to be swinging into my rested Jinbei. He bottom decks the shiny Jinbei. Goodbye, shiny Jinbei. Minusing 3. I don't think he got his 1 Dawn back active. Whoopsies, I did not notice, otherwise I would have reminded him. But he ends up playing the Reiju, which I wish I saw Reiju's as much as this man. Yeah, he's 3 in hand, so he gets up to 5, which is good. Like, honestly, Slay King, get those Reiju's. Could never be me, but he has 1 Dawn. He should have 2 Dawn if I'm not mistaken, which little misplay there. And he swings 5 into life. So he kind of surprised me. He kind of really went aggressive. He didn't play how I expected him to play, and he ended up swinging into life, and I was kind of expecting him to swing into board, and so I played around. I think I played around him swinging into my board, and I should not have. So he ends up swinging 6 into Jinbei, and I counter out with the Law that he knows I have, and passing turn, and we get our Gravity Blade, and I know at this point I have to get rid of the Kid blocker. It's just, it's a solid card. It's so good, and that's why I put it where I did. Yeah, I definitely think that I should have just dropped Boa last turn. He would have bottom decked one of my Jinbeis, but I think it would have. Boa's a harder body to block out of than like a 5. So I end up bottom decking the Reiju and the Kid, just because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to be able to KO both Missile Sundays in a perfect world. But he does use the 1k counter, and so I swing 6 at the same Missile Sunday, and he gives me the 2k counter. So, kind of unfortunate that I couldn't get rid of the 2k counters. And oh, here I was saying, like, oh my gosh, I played with Gravity Blade, I didn't Boa ability. You can say no, is it okay if I do that? And he was like, yeah, it's locals, it's chill. So, yeah, he let me, that's why I was grabbing that Crocodile. And I'm thinking, at this point, okay, next turn, I drop 10 Kaido. And I think I should, oh man, yeah, you guys will see. So I'm at 3 life, and one thing I just didn't, it's like I considered them, but I didn't consider was Kid and Killer, which is unfortunate. So he swings 7, and I give him, I give him 8 to counter out of it. And he swings another 7, and I take And I get the red rock, and I'm like, oh, cool. It's law. I'm popping something, and I'm not popping anything because all he has is the Miss All Sundays. Now, if I Gravity Bladed a Miss All Sunday, I could have popped a Reiju. I could have popped the Reiju, which would have been so great. But he swings 7. He swings 7. I counter out 8, and my hand is bricked. Kind of a rough hand, and I'm hoping to get some counter, and yeah. He ends up passing turn, and I get the 3-cost Dofi. And I think realistically, I think I'm too skittish to play Kaido. Honestly, and I think I should have just dropped my 10 Kaido. It's the drawing Kaido. He has 3 life. I would have gained the benefit from it, and then I would have had a large body that would have applied more pressure. But I think I do okay. I swing 5. He gives me the 1k. And I'm thinking at this point, I was thinking about Kaido, now I'm thinking about Boa and Dofi. I swing 5. Realistically, I should have swung 6, but they do let Miss All Sunday go, so that is 1 body off the board. Yeah, so I should have swung 6, because now I just have a Dawn that I have nothing to do with. So I tap 6, I freeze the Miss All Sunday so she can't attack, and I bottom deck the Otama. And as I mentioned, my opponent hasn't played against Boa before, so I'm just trying to explain that. And we do end up drawing the Croc, which, I mean, I think he's more valuable in my hand as a counter. And I kind of fumble the bag here, honestly. I am looking through my top, and I'm like, I'm going to put 3,000 Worlds, just in case he plays a blocker, I can 3,000 Worlds, go for game. But I then put 10 Kaido, the bounce Kaido, second. As if I'm forgetting, I kind of forget Boa ability, honestly. Because if I top deck, if he plays something, realistically, I have Red Rock, and I'm getting 3,000 Worlds, depending on what he plays. I could Red Rock or Gravity Blade, or 3,000 Worlds, and then draw a card, and realistically, I should have put a counter there. But at this point, I am thinking about playing 10 Kaido next turn, depending on how this turn goes. And yeah, I think I am just too skittish to play 10 Kaido, and I need to be more aggressive about 10 Kaido. So he swings 7 into life, and I do end up taking it, and I get a pudding out of life. He swings, and at this point I'm thinking he's gonna minus it, so I use the blocker. He taps 4, plays out the Kid and Killer, and goes 7. I counter out with 8, because I'm assuming that he's gonna have another rush card and I need to counter out. So yeah, I'm hoping, I'm looking at my board and I'm thinking, I've been so focused on trying to clear his board that he's just been flooding, that I have not been swinging into life. And I won't, even if I live this turn, I won't be able to win next turn. So he ends up playing out Blocker Law, and I get the 3,000 Worlds, and I'm like, cool, 3,000 Worlds, I'm going to clear his board. Realistically, I should have just dropped 10 Kaido. I think 10 Kaido would have drawn me into 3k counter, though, which I don't think is enough, if I'm not mistaken. Just judging by the sorting of the cards that I had. So I'm trying to think of what to do, because I could 3,000 Worlds, and I could Red Rock, and I don't know if I do, and realistically, I think that might have been the best choice. If I'm not going to play 10 Kaido, I think 10 Kaido would have been the play. But yeah, I think at this point in the game, I'm kind of cooked. So I 3,000 worlds, and I minus him, and I remember I picked that 10 Kaido, and I said, oh, I done goofed. So yeah, I swing 5 into Kid and Killer. Because realistically, I think I could have... Because I think I just pass after this. Which I could have just... What am I doing? So he ends up countering. I swing 5 into Kid and Killer again with Boa. And he lets it go. I swing 8 into... Miss All Sunday. I was kind of hoping there is a bit. I was kind of hoping that I could have baited him into going into my board. I don't know if it would have been better to Red Rock one of the things on his board and swing into life, but realistically, with no counter in my hand, the most I can get is 2k counter in my hand. And knowing Law, he's got a rush card. And if he just goes for face, he's got it. So I think, but if I did the math correctly, I think 10 Kaido would have drawn me into Bounce Kaido. I'm trying to think. Bounce Kaido. I think a 1k counter and a 2k counter. As well as one other card, which I think was not anything else. So I take this, and I'm hoping my poker face is good. But I get Sengoku, and I'm like, he has to swing board. He has to swing board or I lose. Like, he's got 4 Dawn up. That is something scary. So he ends up actually minusing his 3 Dawn, playing out Kid and Killer. And yeah, he's like, I'm loading everything up, and I'm like, dude, I threw. I think I should have played 10 Kaido. I don't think it would have saved me. But I don't know. I'm not sure. So 2, 3, yeah. So it probably would have drawn me into 3k counter, which would have gotten me out of the first hit, but not the second, which would have brought me to 0. And then if I had played, yeah, I think if I had played 10 Kaido on the turn that I said, I could have got out of the first hit, potentially got out of the first hit, take the second hit, and potentially retaliated and cleaned. Well, he said he was going to play a blocker. I'm not sure, but I definitely think that I was too afraid to play 10 Kaido, and I should have played 10 Kaido, and I threw because of it. But that is going to be that game, guys. I promise you next tournament I'm going to try and do better. I'm not pleased with my performance. I don't feel like I got... I didn't feel like I really let my deck shine. The new deck list really shine. But those are the only games I got at this tournament, unfortunately. And I feel like both of them... I feel like I could see that I mean, Lucci, which is yesterday's video... It's just a tough matchup, but I feel like this one I could pinpoint one of the instances, if not more, where I threw. And so I did want to talk about it, and I did want to get some feedback from you guys and, see if you guys knew where I could have played better. But that is going to do it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble on about how I'm bad. If you like this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.